Even though I wasn't uploading for the past few years, I actually never completely stopped drawing. I didn't draw anywhere near as much as I used to, but every now and then, I just randomly pick up a pencil and see if I still got it, and apparently, I also got really good at starting drawings and never finishing them. This first one is Ariana Grande, and basically wants to see if I could still draw portraits. The funny thing is, I drew most of this on a flight. I was going to Melbourne for a holiday, so I worked on it on the flight there, and then again, on the flight home. I still haven't finished it, so maybe Ariana needs to become one of my drawing videos eventually. I started this Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta drawing. I took inspiration from one of the Dragon Ball Legends illustrations. Something I've always done when drawing is work on more than one thing at once. The problem with that technique is, sometimes neither one gets finished. But this one's Shinobu, who's actually one of my favorite Demon Slayer characters. Some of you might remember I drew her on a controller in Rec Room before, and I uploaded it on YouTube. But this one's important for another reason. This was around the time I started experimenting more with having my own art style. I'm still using references, but I started thinking more about how I wanted the drawing to look instead of trying to copy every single thing exactly. And that eventually became pretty important when I started designing my own characters for CityEvoke. This was the original sketch for Consumed by the City. This eventually went from this little sketchbook idea into an actual finished design that you can wear. And then there's Manifest. This sketch eventually became one of my tees and is also becoming one of my designs for my upcoming summer zip-up hoodies. Then we're back to anime again. This is Chitoge from Nisekoi. I drew this almost exactly a year ago. And this portrait was someone I found on Reddit. Unfortunately, I completely lost the original reference. I really wanted to test myself again and see if I could still draw portraits. I didn't finish it, but this is probably the most recent realistic portrait I've done, and this is one of the most recent CityEvoke concepts. Between Two Worlds. This sketch eventually became my latest tee design, and it's also coming to the summer zip-up hoodie. If you ever want to see what these random sketches actually turned into, I'll leave my CityEvoke socials below. But this is the one we are actually dealing with today, Gojo from Jujutsu Kaisen. I started this drawing back in November 2024, and then apparently decided almost 2 years was a reasonable amount of time to take a break from it. So we are finally finishing it. The reason I even started this drawing is honestly TikTok's fault. I kept getting those Gojo vs Sukuna edits. If you've seen them, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And that whole fighting scene was epic. But after watching season 2 of Jujutsu Kaisen and seeing Gojo doing the Hollow Purple for the first time, and then seeing it again on this Gojo vs Sukuna edit, eventually I was like, alright, I need to draw this. The reference I'm using is from this artist. I really like this version because it has that cleaner anime look compared to the rougher manga style, and because I wanted to add my own shading to it. It gave me a really good base to work from. I actually don't want to change much from what I originally drew. I'm happy with the sketch, I just never finished it. One thing that has changed since I started this is how I shade. I use charcoal pencil, then I'll smudge certain areas to get those softer transitions. But now I also like using black pen in the really dark areas. That extra black gives more depth instead of everything being the same shade of gray. So even though I'm finishing an older drawing, some of the techniques I'm using are how I draw now. Gojo is easily my favorite JJK character. If it's not Gojo, then probably Todo. I've actually made these two characters and even Yuji Itadori in NBA 2K a few times. I got into JJK pretty much when the anime first came out, because TikTok would not stop hyping it up. And then I think the moment that Gojo became my favorite character was when he first did the Infinite Void. That was one of the first moments I was like, oh, this guy is tough. And obviously Gojo versus Sukuna is up there too. I'm not spoiling anything because I know some of you are anime only. I've read the manga all the way through, including the stuff after the main ending, so I know what happens. All I'm saying is, that fight is insane. I cannot wait to see it animated, and whoever is responsible for the soundtrack, just put Judas in there. TikTok already did the marketing for you. I've actually been getting back into more action anime lately. For a while, I've been mainly watching rom-coms and slice of life, because sometimes I just want to watch something chill. But right now, I'm watching Soul Eater, which has been a really good way of getting me back into that kind of anime. I'm also watching Chitose is in a Ramune Bottle, and I recently finished watching Smoking Behind the Supermarket with You, which was just a really funny chill watch. So I guess my anime taste right now is half relaxing and half give me people fighting again. I've also somehow turned gaming into trophy hunting. Right now I'm trying to platinum Sonic Superstars, and after that, I'm planning on going for Jump Force. At this point, I don't even know if I'm playing games normally anymore. I see a game and immediately start thinking about the platinum, like the upcoming Wolverine game, Stranger Than Heaven, and even AOT 3. Going through all these drawings actually made me realize how many things I've started and just never came back to, and every drawing reminds me of where I was when I made it. I can look at some of these CityEvoke sketches and remember when they were literally just ideas on paper. So now that I'm uploading again, I feel like I've finally got a reason to come back and finish some of these. And Gojo isn't even close to being the only one. There's a lot. Quick CityEvoke update before we finish this up too. The summer zip up hoodie pre-orders open August 18, and then August 25 I'm dropping a new tee design, adding 3XL and opening up international shipping. I'm actually working on a CityEvoke video right now showing the process behind that new design. So if you are interested in seeing how one of my original drawings goes from sketch to Procreate to an actual piece of clothing, check out the CityEvoke channel. Everything will be linked below. And after sitting unfinished since November 2024, the Gojo drawing is finally done. I'm actually really happy I started doing this again. Finishing one of these old drawings feels completely different from starting something new. So if you want another unfinished episode, you've already seen some of my drawings I've got, let me know which one you want me to finish next. And for the normal draw and talk series, tell me which character you want me to draw next too. If you are enjoying these videos, subscribe. I'm definitely planning on doing a lot more of them. And if you want to see my original artwork and the stuff I'm creating for CityEvoke, I've got the channel, website, and socials linked below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.